What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of ammo testing. So I had this bright idea. I said, I wonder how much more powerful 22 TCM is than 22 Magnum. And I so happen to have 40 grain Arms Core 22 Magnum and 40 grain Arms Core 22 TCM. So for those of you who don't know what 22 TCM is, it's a proprietary cartridge. As you can see, it is a bottleneck pistol cartridge, 22 caliber. It is proprietary to Arms Core. They're basically, I think, the only ones that make the guns for them nowadays. And it's a proprietary cartridge. But they also make 22 Magnum. And as you can see, the projectiles are pretty much identical. This one's seated a little bit deeper, but they're pretty much identical. So I don't think there's any debate that 22 TCM is more powerful than 22 Magnum, but we want to find out how much more powerful. I don't think I've chronoed this, but I have, and this is pushing about 21. So 2,100 feet per second out of this pistol is 5-inch government model. And that's what we got here. We have a 5-inch government model double stack Rock Island Armory that we're going to be shooting the 22 TCM out of. And then we have a Heritage Arms revolver. So as you can see, they're roughly, this test, I'm trying to make this test as fair as possible with what I have, so I don't have to go out and spend any extra money. And it's pretty darn close then in the barrel length, as you can see here. Now this is, Masada Yube's gonna shit a kitten. This is, if you don't know how they measure barrel length, they don't include the chamber on revolvers. I mean on semi-autos. So they're roughly, the barrel lengths are roughly close. So I think it's going to be an okay test. So we're going to see how much more powerful. Is it double? Is it half as more powerful? 3/4? I don't know. But we got our crappy and not trusty Caldwell Ballistic Precision. I don't even know why they put that name in there because it's not precision. Trying to save up some money for that Garmin, the little square Garmin. However, I keep buying guns. So I got to stop buying guns and ammo. Maybe not ammo, but I got to slow down on buying guns so I could allocate those funds somewhere else. I also have a pretty serious watch habit too. So you gotta balance all that stuff, right? But we're going to try to see if it will pick stuff up. This thing struggles to pick up readings, and maybe it will too with these little bullets. So let's start off first with, how about we start off with the 22 Magnum? We'll get a couple velocities. I'll try to get 3, and then we'll go to the 22 TCM. And then I have some water jugs and stuff to see how they're going to react, how deep they penetrate, if they fragment, and how they will react in liquid, in water. So let me just step back here. First, let me put my hearing protection on. I'm gonna step back here. We're gonna shoot 3 rounds, assuming it picks up the 3 rounds, out of the 22 Magnum, and we'll just get some velocities here. It's actually pretty powerful. 1135. Okay, 1135. 1162. 1137. 1135, 1162, and 1137. So that's those 3. Let's see if we can reach that 21 that I have before in this gun. So didn't have any problems picking up the 22 Magnum. That's good. All right. Okay, that's not right. 854. There's no freaking way. Let's try this again. Okay, that's better. 2057. 2057. 2065. That's a crap number. 596. What the heck is that? Okay. See what I tell you about this chrono? This darn thing. Let's see if we can get it back over it. 2053. So we didn't reach the 21, but we did reach the 2053. 2050s. We did reach the 2050, so it's not quite. So let me do the math in there because I don't feel like doing it. Nah, maybe I will. I don't know. So we had roughly what, a little over 1,100 with the 22 Magnum. And again, they're pushing identical projectiles. So from the same company. So it's pushing it a little over 11 for the 22 Magnum and a little over, I'd say it's probably average about 2,050 with this one. So that's significantly faster and more powerful. That's crazy. It is also out of revolver, so you lose a little bit of velocity with the gap between the cylinder and the forcing cone. And how much does that really matter? I don't have a semi-auto 22 Magnum, so we're gonna have to deal with that for what it is. But you know what? Let's set up the camera on the water jugs and let's see how these bullets react in water. All right, folks, first up, we have the Heritage Rough Rider. This was, I think I failed to mention, this was one of the ones that came with both cylinders. So it came with a 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum cylinder. It's pretty cool. As you can see, we have 4 jugs of water, and we are just gonna step back here a little bit, and we're gonna put our ears on, and then we're gonna shoot this with a 22 Magnum and see what happens. Here we go. Whoa, we even got spray back here a little bit. I might need to back up for that 22 TCM. Good Lord, okay. Oh, it went through all 4. It went through all 4. So it split the first one, split the second one. It did not come out, although it feels like it did hit the back of that. Yep, I think we found it in there. Let me pour this out. Let me get this stuff over here. So pour this out. I'm gonna set this one up here so so the wind don't blow it away. All right, here it is. It barely, I hope the camera's picking it up there. It barely mushroomed a little bit. I'll probably get a closer picture of that. But let me reset, and then we'll do the 22 TCM. And again, I might back up a little bit. All right, folks, as you can see, we're set back up. We have the Rock Island Armory 1911 A2 FS in 22 TCM. That's what it says along the side. We have 1 round, 40 grain, 22 TCM. We got our 4 jugs, and I decided to keep it the same. I know I'm going to get showered with water, but I didn't want to increase the distance. I want to keep it, I guess, as fair as possible. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to penetrate? Now we had, again, as you saw, 22 Magnum went all the way through all 4 jugs, and then actually dented the back of the jug, but it did not go through all the way. But that's 4 jugs of water it penetrates through. You think this will go that far, or do you think it will stop somewhere in between because the velocity is so high? And typically, with really fast projectiles, when they encounter water, they come apart and they don't penetrate that deep. So that's my guess. I'm guessing it's not going to go as far and it won't penetrate as deep. But let's find out here. Again, let me put my ears on right quick. Here we go. Time to get wet. And I did. Good God. But as you can see, wow, that was a lot more violent. Look at this. Look at this milk jug right here compared to, now I lined these up. So that was the first one of 22 Magnum. This was 22 TCM. So there is a significant difference in damage to the milk jugs. Went through number 2, number 3. I believe it is stuck in number 3. So again, let me put this stuff over here. Hopefully the wind doesn't kick up or I'm going to be chasing freaking water jugs. Let me go over here. I don't see. Hold on. Weird. Oh, I hear it in there. I hear it. Sounds like it might be pieces. No. Oh man. And again, we will get close-ups of this in case it doesn't come through. Look at that. Look at that. Let me, wow. So it didn't penetrate as deep, but good Lord, did it expand. Awesome. Let me flip this camera around and we'll get the final thoughts and we'll get some close-ups of these two projectiles. All right, folks. Final thoughts on 22 TCM versus 22 Magnum. I don't think it's a surprise to anybody watching this video that 22 TCM is more powerful than 22 Magnum. Unless you never heard of 22 TCM, guess what? It's more powerful than 22 Magnum. So we already knew that going into it, but how much more powerful? It's almost double. So I don't know, what's that? I don't know. You guys math figure that stuff out, how much more powerful and foot-pounds and all this kind of stuff. I will say this, it is significantly more powerful than 22 Magnum. Now, you saw for yourself with the water jugs. I mean, that first, hopefully it came through on video. I won't know till I edit this, but I showed you the jugs, man. The first jug just completely exploded. And surprise to me, I figured that the 22 TCM was going so fast, it would come apart. No, sir. It actually expanded perfectly. I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring this camera down here a little bit. Oh, by the way, strawberry jams, my Glock don't. But here's the projectiles right here. Let's see if I can get it. Maybe I'll bring the camera down a little bit more. So there's the projectiles right there. There's the 22 Magnum. And there is the expansion on the 22 TCM. That's a huge difference. And these are identical projectiles down to the cantilever right here, which is this line right here. If you didn't know what that is. There's one on here, but it's tucked up under the pedals that folded back, so it's hard to see. But this is what roughly 900 feet per second more gets you. That's fantastic. That's kind of doo-doo. It actually didn't expand it off. It's a hollow point. You would figure this is more like 22 long rifle expansion. This right here, though, this is legit. This right here is legitimate expansion. So, like I said, not a shocker to anybody, but this just kind of proves that 22 TCM is almost double the power of 22 Magnum. What are some of the problems with 22 TCM? It is a proprietary cartridge. only one company makes the guns and the cartridge. They don't make it in any rifles. They did make it in like a bolt gun, but good luck finding that. If you got one, congratulations. Those are rare as hen's teeth. But you pretty much only get it in 1911 packages. And I think as of the time it's filming, which is mid 2024, you can still get a single stack version. You can get the high cap version, which is what I got. And then you can get a version that comes with a 9mm barrel, but that one shoots 22 TCM R, which they shorten. They basically had to get it to be the same overall length as 9mm. They had to seat the projectile lower, so it's not 22 TCM, it's 22 TCM R. So if you're looking for one of those, be careful, look out, because it's kind of confusing with 22 TCM R is the shorter one that fits in a single stack 1911 that also comes with a 9mm barrel and 9mm spring, so you could switch out, and I think a 9mm magazine. They might use the same mags on that one, I'm not sure on the mag, but it definitely comes with a 9mm barrel and spring. So 22 TCM will not fit in that gun if you buy that. So that's one of the issues. 22 Magnum is everywhere. It comes with rifles, semi-auto pistols, revolvers, all kinds of stuff, bolt guns, semi-auto. You know, it comes in. It's a very popular 22 cartridge, but it's not as powerful. So if you really want to put a whopping on a varmint or something, and you're gonna do it with pistol, get a 22 TCM, man. The results you see for yourself. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.